Truth be told, he's always been a hustler on a mission. Mission for greatness. Some people are naturally blessed with the hustler's ambition. Now this story is one that we're all quite familiar with. This man had talent and a dream. Three things that he always had besides his 45 were intelligence, ambition, and intuition. Hustler is not simply born. The true hustler is created as he adapts to the bullshit this world throws at him.
This is Andre of Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert button so that you're notified every time we drop content, and that's going to be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode.
Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time. Let's get ready for a BGK story time. Hey, what up, BGK gang? We back at you with another banger. You know how we do. Back at you with another story time. But anyway, today I want to talk about a couple things. One I want to talk about is BGKs Azore. Now BGKs Azore, let me preface it with this. BGKs Azore was bigger than DDKs The Hulk. You don't have to believe me. Go ask DDKs The Hulk's owner, Marlon Grinning. A good friend of mine, by the way. I got a lot of love for DDKs The Hulk. As a matter of fact, I actually did a breeding with DDKs The Hulk, and I knew Marlon way before DDKs The Hulk was famous. We were friends. We would talk back and forth. When I first met Marlon is when he actually sent me an email. He was just getting started. He was looking for a pup. He didn't end up purchasing a pup for me. He went his own way, did his own thing, and did an amazing job at it. You have to give him that. DDKs The Hulk has done a lot for the breed. He has done a lot as an ambassador of the breed and let people know about the XXL bullies out here. You know, that's something that I started and that they took to the next level. But anyway, back to what we're talking about, which is BGKs Azore. Like I said, he's the biggest bully I ever produced. I have pictures of Marlon with BGKs Azore. He personally told me he could not believe how big BGKs Azore was, and if I had not sold BGKs Azore and kept him with me and he was anywhere around me in my marketing, because the kennel he went to really didn't market him and take him to the level they could have, but they did a good job though. I think I really could have made a huge dent with him, but he still is legendary in my mind for everything that he's done. Now let me tell you why I ended up selling BGKs Azore and give you a little background. So BGKs Azore came from my very first litter that turned out to be a unisex litter. Now a unisex litter means when you only have one sex in that litter. He came from a litter of 7 males. And I guess that was the lucky number 7 because every male in that litter was huge. They turned out to be ginormous. Now he was the product of BGKs The Rock being bred to BGKs Karma. BGKs Karma was a butthead blooded dog, right? So this was BGKs The Rock with his background, you know, of GK blood and everything else, going towards butthead blood, and it just, those two bloodlines clicked and exploded. It was a massive deal, right? So when I first did that breeding, I knew it was going to be big, and I knew Rock produced extremely well. Rock is what I like to call one of the first super producers, and what that means to you is that every time I bred Rock into something, it was bam, magic. Every time I bred Rock into something, it was bam, magic. Every time I bred Rock into something, it was what? Yeah, I heard y'all out there, bam, magic. So I knew this was going to be a special breeding because BGKs The Rock was a special dog. I love Karma a lot. I ended up breeding Karma only once, and then I shipped her out to BGKs Europe, who was still active at that time, and they did some breedings with BGKs Karma and BGKs Cujo out there. But anyway, for the sake of this video, I bred BGKs The Rock to BGKs Karma, and 7 males came out of that litter. Now, the first pick male I actually sold overseas to a gentleman in I think it was Russia. right? And when he wanted to pick up the dog, he wanted to come out in person. He said, I'm spending a lot of money on this dog. I want to make sure that I get the dog that I want out of the litter. I said, fine. So he came out, and when he flew out, I told him which dog I thought was going to be the biggest dog, which was BGKs Azore. At that point, I was not calling him BGKs Azore because he was a brindle and looked just like Rock to me on a certain level, because Rock was a blue brindle as well. I was like, you know what? I'm going to call him Rock Jr. So on my website, I called him Rock Jr. When I was telling everybody about how excited I was about this pup, I called them Rock Jr., right? At this point, I'm like, you know what, man? You flew all the way out here from Russia. Here goes the 7 pups right here. I was like, this pup right here is just as big as the rest, but he's actually going to be bigger because he started off as the smallest pup, or the runt, if you will. But at this point, he is equal to the first pick male. So at that growth rate, that means if he's growing that fast and he's caught up to the first pick male and they're the same size right now, he's going to continue growing a lot faster than that first pick male, more than likely end up a lot larger than that first pick male. The man was going back and forth. He's like, that's a brindle, I don't know. I'm going to take this big blue boy because he's always been the biggest, even though the other one just caught up to his size. Okay, fine. So third pick or second pick, I don't remember which at this point, was Top Blue Kennels. Now, Top Blue Kennels was returning to purchase another male for me because he already purchased BGK's Tank for me, right? BGK's Tank ended up being in a movie with Keanu Reeves called Exposed. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out. He's not just in there for a little bit. He's got a lot of screen time. He does a scene where he gets hit and dies. There's all kinds of good stuff. That's actually a good film overall. And I was very proud to see a dog of mine that I produced in a movie with Keanu Reeves. But back on topic, his owner, BGK's Tank's owner, Paul, was there to purchase another male from this 7 pup litter, right? And I told him, I recommend Rock Jr. I'm telling Paul, look, man, this will be good for Top Blue Kennels. You already got BGK's Tank, and he's doing great. Now you will have Rock Jr. over there, and he'll do great, and I might even come use him. Paul was like, oh, man, you know what? Tank has a little bit of brindle in his fur. I don't want another brindle, man. I'll take the blue. So he bought BGK's Beast from that litter, who turned out to be an amazing male, right? He ended up being a very amazing male. So I sold that to Paul of Top Blue Kennels. And eventually, a lot of the people that were on this litter were passing up on this pup, right? I decided I'm going to keep this pup for myself, right? I kept the pup back, and I sold off the majority of the litter, and this was going to be my keeper from the litter. And I was not going to call him BGKs Azore. I was going to call him BGKs Rock Jr. So that's where we were with it. I had a client that had been on another litter, and this client is somebody that you guys might know. They're XXL Designer Bullies. And I was dealing with the female's name over there. Her name is Gina. So I was dealing with Gina from XXL Designer Bullies, and she was on a different litter, and she came to me saying, you know what, do you have anything left from that litter? I'm like, I don't got anything left from this litter, but I got a male that I really planned on keeping for myself. Now at this point, Gina started acting kind of weird, like she thought maybe I was trying to secretly sell her the runt of the litter. This dog was not the runt of the litter. Matter of fact, like I told you, he turned out to be the biggest dog I ever produced. So she ended up finding this out. But at this point, she's being real skeptical. She was mad because the litter that I initially bred that she had put a deposit for didn't take. Now, a lot of people don't understand this, and let me tell y'all this as a breeder right now. We absolutely hate it when litters don't take. We hate to have to make that phone call to you guys who have a deposit on that litter. And even more so, we hate it because we're breeding for ourselves. If they're a good breeder, we're looking for our own pick from that litter, right? So we do not like to tell people that the litter didn't take. But just know, no matter how good of a breeder you will be buying from, whether it's me or whoever else you choose to buy your dog from out there, just know there's a lot of times, well, I don't say a lot of times, there are some times that litters don't take, right? You can do everything right. You can do every progesterone test. You can have the right male with great semen. Your timing can be perfect. The stars can align and everything should just take off and work out for you. And it just doesn't happen. That's beyond our control. It's beyond your control. So what you do in that instance is just put your faith in the breeder and look for the next best litter he has coming up. Or if you really, really like that specific pedigree and that specific lineup and that specific blood mix, that litter that you were on, wait for the repeat. Believe me, the breeder wants to give you that puppy as bad as you want to get it. Trust me on that. But back to the story at hand, Gina was from XXL Designer Pitbulls was very upset at me because a litter that she had put a deposit on didn't take. And she was like, I don't want to wait for the repeat. I need another male. I need a male right now. I need something. Actually, she didn't even have any dogs at this point. Why am I saying another male? She bought her foundation stud, got her start from BGK, Big Gemini Kennels, gave XXL Designer Pitbulls their start, whether they like to admit it or not. And we'll get into that later. But anyway, she got very upset with me and said, you know what? I don't want to wait for the repeat. I need my foundation stud. I need to go ahead and get my kennel started. And this was the litter I wanted, and I wanted that specific litter. And I don't even remember exactly which specific litter that was that she was on initially that didn't take. But I just know that I was just as upset as she was that it didn't take. And I really want to make things right. So, you know, I told her, you know what? I was going to keep this dog for myself. But since I can tell you're very upset, I will offer you my pick from BGKs Rock times Karma. I will give you BGKs Rock Jr. And she's like, I don't know. I feel like you're just trying to get over on me. You're just trying to get me to run of the litter. You're just trying to screw me over now that you got my money and you want I don't get it. I'm like, I don't think you understand. If you don't want to buy this dog, fine. I'm not trying to make you take this dog. I'm telling you, yes, he did start on the smaller side of the litter. Out of the 7 males, he was one of the smallest at the very beginning. But by the time that the first pick male came to make his selection, he was the same size as the first pick male. And that tells me a lot. As a knowledgeable breeder, I know that he is growing at an accelerated rate. There's no way he should start as a smaller pup and be able to be the same size as the largest pup in the litter by the time you get to choose which pick is what, right? That was only at 9 weeks old. He already caught all of his brothers and was already one of the biggest. There was the biggest boy, which was a blue boy at that point, and who had been the biggest the whole time. And then there was Azure, the blue brindle, who definitely had caught him and was the exact same size as the biggest. And then the other 6 puppies were a little bit smaller than the blue boy and Rock Jr., which I was calling him at that point. So I'm explaining all this to her. I'm like really trying to sell her on this dog. I'm like, I can't believe I'm trying to sell her on something that I don't even want to sell. Like, I don't even want to give up this dog. I want to keep this dog for me. And I'm sitting over here trying to convince her that no, this isn't the runt. I'm not screwing you over. I'm giving you a personal keeper because I don't want you to be upset as a client of mine. I don't like to see any of my clients upset. And if I had to sacrifice a dog that I thought was going to be great to give to you so that you're happy and you get what you want, and she's like, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'll take that pup, but I'm not going to spend any more than I was already going to spend. And she was not getting the first pick, right? So that's where I felt kind of like, oh man, this is wrong. Like, I'm giving her my keeper at a lower price and she's doubting me the entire time. I shouldn't send this dog off. You know what? For the sake of just keeping things calm and keeping things cool, because there was another problem that was happening during that time period. You know what? I don't want any problems. I just want to get this dog into her hands and be done with this transaction, because she's already calling me a liar. She's mad that the litter didn't take. And now she's saying I'm trying to sell her a runt when I'm giving her a personal keeper that I was going to use for myself, that I would have definitely incorporated in the BGK program because he was turning out so dope, right? As the older he got, the doper he got to me. Like, he's one of these dogs that just got progressively better and better and better at a very rapid pace. So I was really second guessing it. But at the end of the day, me being a man of my word, I did what I said I was going to do, honored the lower price point, and shipped her out BGKs Azore. When she first got BGKs Azore, she was excited as hell. You know, she's calling me every day like, I can't believe how fast this dog is growing. I can't believe how fast this dog is growing. He's at 90 pounds. He's at 100 pounds. He's at 120 pounds. He's at 130 pounds. He's at 140 pounds. And then we stopped communicating. As the dog started getting older, I noticed that different people that I really did not rock with. There's a lot of other breeders out there that I personally don't function with. I'm not really cool with a lot of breeders. There's some breeders I consider close friends. Bossy Kennels is one of my close friends. I'm very good friends with Marlon as well. Top Blue Kennels has been a good friend over the years. You know, there's some, I'm not going to just go down and name all the kennels, because there's a lot of kennels that I am cool with, but there's also a lot of kennels that I just don't associate myself with, don't deal with. believe it or not, we always think of dogs being aggressive, right? It's not dog eat dog, right? That's what they always say. It's breeder eat breeder. Like, if you guys ever get behind the scenes and start dealing with breeders, you'll realize like there's some real bitch ass breeders out there, right? Seriously, that just want to gossip about other breeders, especially if you're doing anything worth talking about. This is how you know you're doing something worth talking about in the bully world. It's other breeders, for whatever reason, will try to find something negative to say about you or your dogs, and they will be more worried about what's going on in your yard than what's going on in theirs. And I can give y'all a little advice right now. If you worry about what you have going on, worry about marketing what you're doing, worry about improving your stock, worry about making sure your dogs are living healthy, happy lives, making sure that your clients are happy with everything that's going on, that will serve you so much better than being worried about, oh man, I heard he was lying about how big that dog was. Man, I heard that dog had one testicle. You worried about another man's dog's nuts. Come on, man. Like, I can't make this up. This happens. Man, I heard that dog really can't produce that well. Did you see that last litter? I don't know. Did you see that picture? Did it look the same as the video? Like, you do not understand how bitch made these breeders can be when it comes to nitpicking other breeders. And I noticed that she started dealing with some other breeders that did not like me. But what they do like is what I produce. So when I produce something and I sell it, what they'll do is they'll go contact and follow and befriend the person that bought that BGK dog. And what they're trying to do is see if I can get a chance to use BGK blood without going through Dre, because Dre's going to charge my bitch ass because I know he doesn't like me, because I've been talking all this shit about him for no reason, just clout chasing, just trying to get my name out there. Like, I know that some breeders will simply make a comment that's negative on my page just so they can go back and tell their friends, guess what I said on BGK's page? I told him his dogs aren't that big, his dogs aren't that great. I said that directly on his page. Yep. And he responded. He said, fuck you. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you too, Dre. So you know what? You guys need to check out my dogs. They think that's how it works. Negativity does not ever help you scale your kennel or blow your kennel up. The only thing that helps you is walking your own path, be in your own lane, and producing something that's worth talking about. Produce some amazing specimens. Produce some amazing dogs. Nobody can take that from you. If you do that, you'll be bigger than me, bigger than anybody out there that you see as competition. You won't have competition. I don't have competition. I have blinders on. I only see the end zone. That's it. Like, I don't hate anybody. I don't care enough to hate anybody. I mean, a lion doesn't worry himself about the opinions of sheep. It just don't work that way, you know? So, with that being said, I noticed Gina, who had bought BGKs Azore with me, starting to befriend other breeders, or being befriended by other breeders who didn't like me, and then our communication started to kind of fizzle out. She wasn't sending me the updates. Yeah, I would find out about how big Azore was getting, but I would find it out by third parties. You know, somebody be like, man, I seen BGKs Azore. Oh my God, that's the biggest dog you ever produced. Man, I've seen BGKs Azore. Oh my God, he's almost 200 pounds. Oh man, I flew out to see BGKs Azore, bro. That is the biggest bully I've ever seen in my life. And that turned out to be the biggest bully I ever produced. He topped out at right around 198 pounds. All right. DDKs The Hulk is right around, I think he topped out at like 178, 182. Definitely was never at no 198, almost 200 pounds. This was a beast of a dog. I actually have a picture of Marlon with BGKs Azore, because Gina had him. Gina, XXL Designer Bullies is in New York, and Marlon is in, like, I think it's like New Hampshire. Whatever the case, they're really close to each other, close enough where that Marlon could drive up or she could drive over, and Marlon was able to see the dog in person. I'm in Los Angeles, and she wasn't communicating with me because now she has all these people telling her, hey, that's the best production Dre has ever done, and you know what? You just need to deal with us, because now you're going to be bigger than Dre, because he gave you a dog that was his best stock. He should have never sold you this dog. So the funniest thing about it, when you really think about it, the dog that she was accusing me of being a runt, the dog that she was saying, hey, he's just trying to trick me and sell me a dog because he wants me out of his hair because he owes me a dog from the litter that didn't take, she realized at the end that I had literally gave her the biggest dog that I had ever produced at that time. She was stoked. She realized, okay, this BGK shit is not a joke. This is why I came to Dre, and oh my God, he wasn't lying to me. He gave me some of the best, or the best, that I had. Now I noticed she started promoting like crazy. Her Instagram is crazy now. She has a crazy amount of followers, and she built that on the back of BGKs Azore. So BGKs Azore. So you're welcome, Gina. You know what I did for you. You know what I did for your program. And what really pissed me off is after BGKs Azore got there, I did nothing wrong to you, but you stopped telling anybody that BGKs Azore came from BGK. You started calling him Azore. Azore of XXL Designer Pitbulls. And if you look on her site, she does not mention BGK anywhere. She does not want people to know that we were the source. We are the source. We have always been the source for big ass dogs. And she did not want people to know that. That is why you will never see her say BGKs Azore on her Instagram. You will never see her say BGKs Azore on her website. But if you look at the pedigree of any dog that's been produced by that dog, you will see his registered name is BGKs Azore because she bought him from me. And lucky for her, I was nice enough to ship a dog that I was going to keep for myself out to her to start her program off with the best possible dog that you could do.
Now, if anybody's wondering about what excuse she used as to why she doesn't mention BGK when it comes to Azure, BGKs Azore's owner posted on her Instagram and said the following. She said it was because when I took BGKs The Rock to the Cinco de Mayo show, he threw up because he was overheated. So that means that I was faking about his stats, right? For the record, yes, BGKs The Rock threw up that day at the dog show. So what? He still weighed in at 145 pounds. And clearly, she know he has to be a beast because he produced her dog who turned out to be 198 pounds. Come on, make it make sense. Yeah, that's seriously your excuse because my dog threw up at a dog show because he was overheated? That you don't want to mention his dad's name? Or do you just want to hide the truth of where he came from? I guess if your dog throws up at a dog show, you're a scammer and you're ripping people off. Come on, man. Nobody's dumb enough to believe that. On top of being the largest XL American bully that I produced and one of the largest ever to walk the planet, he was actually health tested and came back with a clear panel, meaning that he was super healthy and super huge, not just super big, because there's a lot of super big unhealthy dogs out there. Quality matters.
So, lesson learned. Some people out here, like myself, are not shady. But one thing I noticed, when people get their hands on some of the biggest stock that I produced out there, they will start acting different. Like, they let the fame get to their head, that bully fame, if you will. With the cloud chasers that are telling them, you got the best dog ever. That's better than The Rock. He's bigger than The Rock. And he is bigger than The Rock. That's why Rock was a super producer. When a big ass dog can outproduce himself, Rock was only 150 pounds. And when he can produce a dog that is 198 pounds, then you understand why we call him a super producer.
Today is a very special day because I get to introduce you guys to Big Dog Supplements. Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? I'm proud to share something with y'all that I've been working on for over 12 years. I've been accused of using steroids and growth hormones to produce some of the huge BGK beasts that come out of my yard over the years. Now, nothing could be further from the truth. What I've used is very selective breeding with some of the best genetics in the world. You know my motto, quality matters. However, I do have a huge secret that's helped me grow my dogs on a whole different level, and it's super effective. Now, I've been developing my own supplement for over 12 years, and it works so well that I have to cut back on it when it accelerates my dog's growth or weight too damn fast. To be real, I messed up a couple times as I refined my supplement because I honestly made it too potent and some of my dogs would develop too fast. Now, you don't want your dogs to develop too fast because their bones can only support a certain amount of weight and you don't want to impede their movement. So when you're using my supplement, make sure if you notice they're developing too fast, cut back on the amount that you're giving them. That's super important. I use nothing but premium quality products and most of them are actually originally intended for human consumption. I hired an experienced pet nutritionist and a veterinarian to help me refine my supplement until it had the right balance and still stayed super potent. I also worked very closely with a well-known laboratory based in Los Angeles to analyze both of my supplements and provide us with an accurate nutritional breakdown and guaranteed analysis to include on the packaging of our product. We have refined the supplement until we have the best of the best. Our motto still stands. Quality matters. With all that being said, let me introduce you to our two Big Dog supplement products, all right? The first one is our Bulk Up Mix. Now, this is for all breeds. Listen, it's not just for XL American Bullies or Pit Bulls. This is for all breeds and for all life stages, from puppies to your elderly dog. It helps with your dog's growth and development, cleanses the intestinal tract, promotes digestive health, boosts the immune system, helps with the coat, cardiovascular health and function, and more. If you want your developing puppy to reach its maximum potential and become a true beast, this is definitely the formula for you. There's never been a more vitamin-packed, nutrient-packed supplement ever available to dogs. This is powerful stuff. Now, the second big dog supplement product that I'd like to introduce you to is called the Muscle Up Mix. The Muscle Up Mix is for all breeds. I repeat, it is for all breeds. However, both our pet nutritionist and a veterinarian that assisted us in developing the product has confirmed that it should only be used by pups that are 8 months and older because of the high amount of protein and the intensity of the ingredients contained in this supplement. 8 months and older only. This supplement promotes muscle development, growth and development, cleanses the intestinal tract, promotes digestive health, boosts the immune system, helps with the coat, helps with cardiovascular health and function, and much more. The Muscle Up Mix powder is so packed with vitamins, protein, and powerful top quality ingredients that it can only be used by a working, active dog that will burn off all the extra calories and protein and convert it into muscle. This is not for your dog that's laying around the house or just doing casual exercise in the backyard. As I said earlier, this is for a working dog. This is for a canine athlete, whether it's a hunting dog, whether it's a weight pulling dog, or just a high energy dog that you work out on a regular basis and you want to have that supreme muscle tone. Well, this is definitely the supplement for you. That's why it cracked me up so much when people ask me, did I use steroids? Because they see my dogs were so big and buffed and ripped. Why would I use a steroid that would shorten my dog's life when I can give it a health supplement that I developed that will extend its life and still give it that big, ripped, crazy look? Yeah, they look like bullies, for sure. All you have to do is spread a couple tablespoons of our big dog supplement over your dog's favorite food, and they will go crazy over it. They love the flavor of our big dog supplements. I've had dogs find the bag, the actual bag of the supplement, and try to eat the entire thing. Yes, that's happened to me. Now, let me read off to you some of the ingredients of our supplement so you can understand why I'm so excited about it. Now, remember, most of these are human-grade products that we included in a dog supplement, all right? So it's above and beyond what a natural dog would need, and these are the reason that it is so effective. Now, our ingredient list is pretty intense, so if I butcher up a couple of the words, please bear with me. We have dried whey protein, potassium, calcium, essential amino acids, ascorbic acid, probiotics, prebiotics, vitamin A palmitate, vitamin B12, ester C, vitamin D3, vitamin E, animal fat, soy protein isolate, organic flaxseed, Norwegian kelp, lecithin, desiccated liver, Irish sea moss, diatomaceous earth, pumpkin powder, and much, much more. Now, the full ingredient list and guaranteed analysis is included on the packaging of every big dog supplement we produce, both the bulk up mix and the muscle up mix. Our sales officially begin on the 15th of September. Our website will be carrying it, as well as Amazon and many other distributors. Yes, it will be available in Europe. Yes, it will be available in Canada. We are going to put this everywhere. We want everybody to have access to it. Please remember, this is for all breeds. This is not just for pit bulls or American bullies. This is for your Frenchies. This is for your German Shepherds. This is for all breeds. It will better the health of all breeds. We are also launching our website, bigdogsupplement.com, bigdogsupplement, no S.com. That will be launched on the 15th as well. All right? Always remember what we say. Quality matters. One last thing, since you watched this far, I have a $5 off discount code for everybody that's part of the YouTube family. The code is BGK69. It will only be good for the first 5 months after the big dog supplement is launched. After that, it will go out. There will be additional codes in the future. Keep watching for them. Thank you. Links will be in the description. Look down below.